Welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing this whole week, I'm going to be doing a review week. It's been a while since I've done a review week. Maybe not that long, but I feel like I've got a couple videos, I've got a couple books to talk about a little more in depth. So let's do that for a week. I cannot believe we're already almost done with October. It's terrifying to me, and it's even more terrifying because it means I'm getting closer to 27. I don't know why my age is freaking me out so much this year, but it is. Weird. Okay. So today I'm going to be talking about two books that I received from, I believe, let's just make sure I have the right pronunciations. Yes. Pushkin Press. So Pushkin Press and I have worked together a couple of times, and I'm hoping to work with them again in the future because I find that, one, they are extremely kind, generous, and good to work with, and two, I really find that their books are stunning, beautiful covers, as well as really well just done in general. Two books I'm going to talk about today are Beauty is in a Wound and also The Beginning Woods. Now, both of these are more fantastical, fictional, fantasy-esque kind of feels. If you want fantasy, you want The Beginning Woods. If you want magical realism, you want Beauty is a Wound. Beauty is a Wound is a story, and it's written by Eka Kurnawan. Kurnawan, and this is the story of thought I was going to sneeze. This is a story of a woman who is dead, and she it sounds really weird. This is a woman of a story who is dead. So the woman comes back to life, and she finally meets her daughter, who she died giving birth to for the first time. Her daughter, who she died giving birth to for the first time, is a child named Beauty, which is ironic because her child is anything but beautiful. This is an Indonesian story. I found this exquisitely done, beautifully executed, and it actually told me a lot about the Indonesian history and folklore that I never knew before. The thing about this book that really, really stunned me as much as the cover is just patting it. The thing that really got me about this whole thing was the conversation about a mother and daughter relationship and the relationship between love that is desired because you're related and love that is desired because you choose to love someone. Now, when she passes away, she's already had several children, all of them women, all of them beautiful and perfect in every way, shape, or form. But then she has what she knows is going to be another little girl, and after she has this final little girl, she says, I'm going to name her Beauty because I already know what she's going to be. She doesn't look at the child, and then she dies. She comes back to life and she goes back to her home, and she finally sees there's a very unattractive child, or a very unattractive girl, I should say, on the property, and she's like, I wonder who this is. She had left her child in the care of a young girl who is mute and who can't speak, and this woman who was left in charge of this baby is the person that has loved this child despite the looks and loved her despite everything and taught her how to be good and kind and honest. And now the mother's coming back completely confused as to how this happened. I really loved that conversation. I really loved the conversation of what defines a mother's love, what defines family, what defines beauty. It was a really interesting conversation, as well as Beauty is a Wound being the title. It really dives into the fact that beauty can be skin deep as well as internal, or one or the other, but it's not necessarily always going to be good. And also beauty can be a serious, I guess, terrible burden would be the best way to put it. And not just the beauty of the face, but the beauty of kindness and the beauty of human decency. Those things can all really kind of affect a person and harm them. And so that is really what I loved about this book. I love the history, I love the relationships and the dynamics, and I love the context in talking about beauty. So there's that. And the second one is The Beginning Wood, and this is by Malcolm McNeill. Now, I went into this with high hopes first, and then I read some reviews on it on Goodreads, and they were terrible. And I ended up very much enjoying it. Now, I am not one for fantasy, period. I'm really not. And I'm also not one for YA. But this one worked, and it worked really well. Let me tell you why. So, when you first enter this world, you're in the middle of this world where there is a thing happening called the Vanishing, and this thing is taking adults, and they're just vanishing off the planet. Like, there's nothing left of them. And no one can figure out what it is, but what this story starts off with is a group of scientists trying to figure it out, and then they fire one of the scientists, and this scientist ends up being the one who deciphers that actually the vanishing doesn't affect children. So it ends up being a child's job to help figure out what's going on and to kind of go into this other realm. Now, this reminded me a lot of two different things. One, it reminded me of The Princess Bride. The film, I don't remember the book as much as I want to, but the film, it reminds me of that because it has this otherworldly, satire-y, comical relief kind of fairy world realm thing that I really enjoy. I really like my fantasies to have a little bit of a jab at reality, if you will. And then also it has a lot of Alice in Wonderland references where a child is going into another world, in another side, and exploring and trying to help and trying to save things. That is really what I enjoyed about this the most, is there was definitely a lot of nods to past things that I very much love, a lot of past nods to fantasies that really shaped me as a person and made me fall in love with fantasy as a child. I super enjoyed this. I highly recommend it to those of you who are either not really sure on fantasy or not really sure on YA, because I think this is done beautifully on both aspects. It's a fun read, and it's not like the most perfectly done thing ever. I really think it's just a beautiful, simple, easy read. It's great for the fall, really nice for winter. I think this is going to be an extremely good thing to kind of pour over in the colder months for all of us here in New England, and then for everybody else who's, I guess you guys get colder months, but I don't think of like 50 degrees as cold. I think of 50 degrees as like chilly, but everyone else seems to think that's cold. I don't know. But yes, it was really, really pretty, really, really well done. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I think that I would definitely follow up on anything else that comes out from the author, Malcolm McLean, but I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way to do so, but if I get the chance or I see something, I will definitely pick it up. And there you go. Those are my thoughts on that. I will see you tomorrow in another review. Bye!